fight now, and Welsh boxing legend Joe Calzaghe has won his High Court action against his former promoter and manager Frank Warren and will pocket around £2 million as a result.
Calzaghe had launched a counterclaim against Warren after the promoter sued the Welshman for allegedly breaking a verbal contract to fight for him. Here's our sports correspondent Richard Morgan.
Unbeaten in 46 world title fights and unbowed in the courts, Joe Calzaghe's reputation still stands strong after today's verdict. It's been a story of a sporting relationship that went sour. Frank Warren had been a constant presence at Calzaghe's side, but the Welshman's decision to promote his final fight alone angered the promoter. Warren claimed that Calzaghe had agreed verbally to fight for him again. Calzaghe counterclaimed for millions of pounds in unpaid fees. At the High Court today, the judge found in Calzaghe's favour.
Well, what can I say? I mean, there's no words to say to describe that. It's absolutely amazing, you know. And it's something that I believed in. It's a result that obviously I did expect, presenting the British justice fair.
Mr. Justice Wyn Williams dismissed Warren's claim for £1 million and ruled he should pay Calzaghe around £2 million in unpaid fees. In a statement, Warren claimed the boxer had originally demanded £3.25 million from his company Sports Network and said he felt vindicated by the decision to award less. He added that he felt extremely disappointed that the judge hadn't gone further in accepting Sports Network had an agreement to promote Joe's last fights. Frank Warren still promotes some of Calzaghe's old stablemates. That agreement may not last.
Today, one of the sport's biggest promoters.
Bringing us that report. World boxing champion Joe Calzaghe has won his High Court battle with his former promoter Frank Warren in a dispute over money. The judge ruled Calzaghe should be paid around £2 million in unpaid fees. Frank Warren's claim that he was owed £1 million has been dismissed by the judge. The BBC's correspondent James Monroe sent us this from the High Court.
Well, the actual ruling from Mr. Justice Wyn Williams runs into several pages, but he spent less than a minute outlining his decision in the High Court this afternoon. First of all, he looked at the claim from Frank Warren that Joe Calzaghe owed him £1 million for breaking a verbal agreement between the two, which was made before the Bernard Hopkins fight, which, according to Warren, meant that Joe Calzaghe would extend their partnership, which had been going for more than 10 years. Well, the judge decided that that claim could be rejected. He said there wasn't enough evidence to suggest that there was an oral agreement, and he said it beggared belief, the fact that nothing had been written down in paper either. In fact, he went on to say, "In my judgment, the claim in this case has been raised as a smokescreen by the claimant, as an attempt to avoid payment by the claimant of a very substantial sum of money." He then went on to discuss that sum of money, the counterclaim from Joe Calzaghe, that he was in fact owed several $1 million by Frank Warren as part of the purse from the Bernard Hopkins fight. The judge decided that Warren Sports Network should pay Joe Calzaghe £1.8 million from that. A statement from Joe Calzaghe this afternoon. He said, "I'm relieved and delighted at the court's decision, which totally vindicates what has been my stance." He says, "The fight with Frank Warren was not one that I sought, but I am delighted to have remained undefeated through it." Frank Warren himself said he was extremely disappointed, but that his advisors, his lawyers, had advised him and Sports Network to appeal against that sum of money, and that is what they plan to do. But for Joe Calzaghe, his victories, 46 victories, no defeats inside the ring, to that he can add one significant court victory this afternoon.
James Monroe there from the High Court.